Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You will be glad you did.
You absolutely will be.
We have an absolutely great show for you today.
Don't we always?
Yes, and some really great guests.
We sure do.
Yes, the ever-intriguing Roseanne de Torres, gatekeeper of matrimonial law, and the young and beautiful Tatiana, competing for the crown of Miss Teen USA.
Yes, she sure is.
And we're going to coach you on how to duck out of work early.
Oh my gosh, why would you want anybody to know how to do that? Hopefully our girls aren't listening to this.
And how to use the female brain.
You're going to tell us how to use the female brain.
I'm going to try. I know it ain't easy.
Oh, gosh. It is absolutely not easy. And I don't think it's easy for you to tell us that.
Well, I do the very best I can.
You do well.
With what God gave me to work with. But first, we are going to learn a little bit about Italy.
We are?
Yes, we are.
What are we going to learn?
Well, first of all, its location.
Okay.
And
all right, where is Italy located, Anthony?
It is on a peninsula located in the south of Europe by the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
Yeah. It borders Austria, France, Switzerland, and Slovenia.
Nothing. Keep going.
Okay. Now, the large islands of Sicily and Sardinia, together with a number of smaller islands, are located in the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
They're also part of Italy.
Wow.
And did you know there are 58 million people that make up the population of Italy?
Well, I have to be honest, I did not know that, but I knew you were going to tell me.
Well, then, do you know, this is easy, do you know the capital of Italy?
I do know the capital of Italy.
And?
It's Trenton.
That was great.
It's true.
You're absolutely right. You lost me.
I could never lose you. I've tried many times, but it just doesn't happen. I know the capital is Rome.
The official language is Italian.
Yes.
You know how to speak Italian?
A little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us some.
The tomatoes. Give me the tomatoes and the olive oil.
Hey, Tony, how you doing? What's the matter with you? Forget about it. It's the official language.
That's funny. That is absolutely hilarious.
The euro is the currency. 100 cents equals €1.
Okay.
The weather in Italy is a temperate Mediterranean climate. It has warm summers and cool winters in the north, hot summers and mild winters in the south, just like the U.S. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting. All right, I have something to say.
Of course you do.
Ti manca da me.
Ti manca da me. Mm-hmm. Yes. Would you translate that for us?
You are missing from me. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. That's beautiful. I know you don't mean that about me. That's for sure.
You don't know everything, you know.
That's for darn sure. Now, passports are required by all visitors to Italy, except for the citizens of the European Union, and they can travel freely throughout Italy.
Oh, fabulous.
Now, everybody knows Italy is well known for its great tasting food.
Everybody does know that.
Yes. And we are so lucky today that we have the Italian guy visiting from Italy.
Oh, no.
Who has been
really?
eating here in our restaurants. And I want to introduce him to you today.
Oh, my gosh.
Elise, this is the Italian guy.
Oh, hello.
Elise. Hello. It's nice to meet you all. I'm going to tell you everything about it. The place where I've been today and the last week. Oh, my God, it's so good.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you bring any tomatoes and olive oil?
No, they're stopping me with the little bitty dog at the airport. I have it in my suitcase on my backpack.
Oh, you're gonna have some.
They take my tomatoes away. What's the matter with them? They're crazy. They take an Italian man's tomatoes.
You're gonna have
What's the
sauce
matter
in
with
your
you?
suitcase.
No. They make a sauce when they take it out. I smash it to tomato right on their face. I do that.
If you leave them in the suitcase too long, they're gonna turn into sauce.
Well, I'm going to tell you. I went to New York last week, and I don't know. It's not the same like Italy. No. See,
Nothing is like Italy.
no. See, I'm going to tell you. One day, I'm going to go to New York to a big hotel. I go to eat some breakfast. I tell the waitress, I want to piece of toast. And she bring me only one piece. I tell her I wanted to piss. She said, go to the toilet. I said, no, you don't understand. I wanted to piss on my plate. She said, you know better piss on the plate, you son of a bitch. I don't even know the lady. She calling me son of a bitch. What's the crazy people in New York?
Yeah, there's lunatics in New York.
I'm going to tell you so. But I say, New York is crazy. So later, I go to eat some lunch at the Draco Hotel. And the waitress, she bring me a spoon and a knife. But no fork. I tell her I want a fork. She tell me
God.
everybody wants a fork. I tell her, no. You don't understand. I want a fork on the table. She says, you know better fuck on the table, you son of a bitch. I don't even know the lady. She called me son of a bitch. It's crazy in Italy. In New York. No, it's a good in Italy. Crazy in New York. I can't wait. So anyway, I go back to my room in a hotel, and there's no sheet on my bed. So I call the manager, and I tell him I want a sheet. He tell me go to the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
I said, no, you don't understand. I want to shit on the bed. He said, you know better shit on the bed, you son of a bitch. I know even know the man. He calling me a son of a bitch. So, I'm going to tell you, they're crazy. I go to check out, and the man at the desk say, piss to you. I say, piss on you too, you son of a bitch. I'm going back to Italy.
Oh, so you went back to Italy then, huh?
I'm going back at the next plane, but first time I got to find a good Italian restaurant here. And maybe I'm going to teach everybody. I don't know.
Okay, well, you know what? I hope you find it.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
It's so nice having me on the show today.
It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Maybe I come back and
don't forget those tomatoes next time.
Okay, I'm gonna ship you some.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Thank you very, very much. Nice to meet you, Lisa. Nice to meet you, Anthony. It was really great meeting you two, Italian guy. Thank you for coming on the show today. And we would love to have you back, and maybe you can tell some other stories about Italy. That would be great. Would you like that? Oh, yeah, I'm a lover of that.
We would absolutely love it.
I'm coming back. So thank you very, very much. And I'll talk to you soon, Elisa. And
okay.
Stu, thank you very much. I appreciate everything.
Have a very safe flight.
Well, there you go.
Now, that's what I call a personality.
He was great, wasn't he?
I was talking about, well, yeah. Never mind what I was thinking. Yeah, that was great.
Well, we're going to take a short break and a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Fabulous.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did.
And we're back.
I'm so glad we're back.
So, we're going to tell you the right way to duck out of work early.
Okay, what could possibly be the right way to duck out of work?
Well, if you are, a lazybones, and...
Well, I'm not, so I can't imagine what this could possibly be.
But,
I'm not that either.
But a gal or guy who gets things done, he's entitled to an occasional long afternoon. And, getting that jump on the weekend.
I agree.
Getting out early
Absolutely.
on a Friday. I know, for us, we're always there late on Friday. We never
Absolutely,
get out
because
early.
of our loyal clientele. We want to make sure they look beautiful for the weekend.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's the first rule, is to leave nobody in the lurch. If you have deadlines, if you have clients to meet them beforehand. Schedule an afternoon meeting off-site. Say, tell those that might come looking for you that you're off to a meeting.
Okay.
All right.
A meeting.
A meeting. Now, this is what John Parkinson, he's author of the FK It therapy books. There's a whole series called F It.
F it.
F It.
F it.
There's
All
some
right.
other letters in there, but I'm not going to go into
I
detail
got
there.
it.
Yeah, but and they're therapy books. And what he says, if people are going to come looking for you, you can tell them you're off to a meeting. You leave as usual, but don't come back. Just slip out quickly
I know
and
people
quietly.
who do that.
You
yeah,
do.
I do.
See, there you go. They must have read the book.
I don't think they read the book.
Well,
they just do it automatically. They just leave for the afternoon, and sometimes they just don't come back.
Are they slackers?
Not typically.
Because once
no.
again, this is for people who get the job done and who are entitled to
Okay.
getting an early afternoon.
No, I understand that.
We're not teaching you how to, sneak out on the job to not do your work.
Mm-hmm.
That's a no-no. I despise laziness. You know that.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not lazy.
Mm-hmm. Now, some of the other things that you could do is to leave your computer on and to leave a half-finished cup of coffee on your desk.
That would look nice. Yeah. Where is she? I don't really know. She's definitely there, though, because you see our coffee's there.
Yes. Everyone assumes you are still in the building. Now, don't be stupid. Stay off the social media. Just one careless tweet can create hard feelings from your other coworkers.
That is absolutely true.
So if you're going to sneak off and be incognito, be incognito.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're talking sunglasses. We're talking a hat.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
That's great. Okay, well, I know people who actually do that, who leave, and they leave certain things, by their area, if you will.
Are you talking about...
I'm not talking about anybody in particular. No,
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. But they leave certain things by their area, and we don't quite really know where they are.
Well-
So what have you got? What else have you got for me?
Well, do you want to get your credit card rate cut and maybe save hundreds of dollars just by asking?
Typically, I don't use credit cards unless I have an emergency, so that would not apply to me. But tell me, maybe some of my friends could use this.
Well, okay. This is something everybody has at least one charge card. You're smart if you don't. You don't need them. And if you could live your life without them,
Well,
I'm all for it. But
I agree with you, but there are some extreme circumstances that happen that sometimes, you can't help it. Accidents happen, craziness happens. Sometimes you need to have a credit card just in case.
well, I know you can't rent a car without a credit card.
That is
when
absolutely
you're on
true.
vacation.
That is true. But you can use your debit card because that would also work as a credit card if you needed to, because it has the Visa or the MasterCard symbol on it. So you could actually rent a car with your debit card if you needed to.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
You see, everybody learns on our show.
Absolutely. But credit cards are good, I think, if you have, let's just say, all 4 tires need to be replaced and you just don't have the extra $1,200 that month.
Oh, yes. I know all about that.
Exactly. Or, accidentally, you have a little mishap, a little car accident, something happens, somebody gets sick and, they're not working and something doesn't kick in quickly enough. Emergencies, that's what I think credit cards are for. All of a sudden, lightning strikes your house and your homeowner's insurance doesn't kick in quickly enough and you have a hole in your roof. That's what you need a credit card for, I think.
There's a song about a hole in the roof.
There
Let me
is
get that song.
a hole in the roof.
Yes, it's called Don't Let the Rain Come Down.
Don't let the rain come down. I'll get it. Do they have a guitar in it? Do you want to play it?
I do.
Don't let the rain come in. Okay.
Oh no, don't let the rain come
Oh,
down.
now you're singing.
My roof's got a hole in it and I might drown. Oh yes, my roof's got a hole in it and I might drown.
I hope you don't drown, Anthony.
That's right. Okay, so you can all make fun of the way I sing too.
I think you sing beautifully.
Anyway, let's get back to our credit cards and what you can do on your lunch break that will pay for the sandwich you eat while making that phone call.
Okay.
All right. First thing you're going to do is you're going to call up your credit card company and you're going to ask them to waive a recent late fee if you have one,
Okay.
or ask them to cut your interest rate.
Okay.
Now, according to a new creditcards.com study, you've got a pretty good chance of getting what you want and getting that rate lowered.
Really? All you
Yeah.
have to do is make the phone call?
All you got to do is make the phone call.
Well, I guess it can't hurt to ask.
Right.
The only problem I would find is being on the telephone and the whole time. Do you know how long it takes to talk to some of these people? Like, for instance, I know if I'm calling the company that does my phone, oh my God, it could take so long to speak to these people. Oh, it drives me insane. Everything is automated
I hate that.
and there's no people to speak to.
I hate that even more.
It's awful.
You know, we are in a people business. We need to talk to people.
Exactly.
You need to talk to somebody. You give us
If I
a call.
wanted to...
Elise and I are available 24/7.
Yeah, we have our phones.
We don't sleep. Our phones are by our beds, even though we tell you not to keep them there. You can reach us anytime by email.
Of course, trendradio920@gmail.com.
Email us for anything you need. You'll be glad you did.
Of course you will be.
So anyway, getting back to the study on by creditcards.com, if you ask, you shall receive. In a recent phone survey, about 9 out of 10 borrowers who had asked to have a late fee waived were successful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And 2 out of 3 of these who asked for a lower interest rate got it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's really great.
Yeah, I was shocked that I had to try it for myself.
And did it work?
You know what?
What?
They lowered my interest rate by almost 5%.
Wow, that's great. Good for you.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3. You know, once I got somebody on the phone,
Yeah.
they absolutely had no problem doing that.
That's
At all.
awesome. Well, good for you.
Yeah. So, 5% on a balance of about $2,000, that'll save you about $13 a month on your monthly payment.
That's awesome.
Boom, ham and cheese sandwich paid for.
Boom is right. That's great. Well, good for you. That was good.
If you're joining us just now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise. We are Trend Radio.
Now, you see that we need to use the female brain the best way we can.
I think I do use my brain the best way I can.
No, I'm talking about as a guy, I need to use your brain because
You need my brain?
I do.
You need my brain.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Well, you're a female.
This is
You
interesting.
have a brain.
I mean, there are plenty of things I know you need.
And the female brain can handle some problems that men cannot.
Well, we know that.
So,
Right, ladies?
so I would,
Do share. We are all very curious right now.
okay. For instance, you know this, women remember faces better than men do.
I agree.
Of course you do.
Women remember everything better than men do.
Oh my God, yes. They remember everything. They do not forget. They forget nothing.
I'm one of those they.
According to a 2013 study in Psychological Science, guys can't play someone, but if you nudge your lady to see if she can clue you in on that face that you know, but you can't recognize.
Oh, that happens to me a lot. That actually does happen to me a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I can be with, any particular man. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It could be you. It could be my husband. It could be just different men that I might be doing some business with, whatever. And if they don't remember, I always do. So I'm always the one to kind of make that introduction or do that. Hopefully I won't forget.
Wow, that's terrific. Do you have one of those pornographic memories?
Pornographic memories? Is that what you just said?
Photographic.
Is that
Get
what
your
you meant?
mind out of the gutter, young lady.
Oh, my mind is not in the gutter. Yes, I do have a photographic memory.
I knew it.
I knew you knew it. You've known that.
All right.
You use that.
I do.
I know.
Now, that family reunion, it will come together more efficiently if she's in on the organization. Women are simply better planners.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yes, you know that.
You know that too.
I do know that. And so do the people who did a BMC psychology study found women to be 27% better at multitasking than men.
Ah, well, you know that I multitask. I do probably about 17 things at a time.
Yes, yes.
You know that I do.
And-
I don't know all women who multitask as much as I do or as well as I do, but I know that men are kind of stunted in that area.
Most men that I know can barely do one thing at a time, let alone 17.
Yeah.
Now, a Harvard Business Review survey found that female bosses were better at building relationships and motivating colleagues.
I agree. I definitely agree. We have a different way of having a rapport with people.
That's true because
Well, most women. There are some women who are socially inept and they just don't have that same gumption to go forward. But a lot of women do.
Well, I know you do because I'm ready to fire somebody and you step in and say, "Now, Anthony, let me handle this."
Is that how I sound?
Let me handle this. They have a lot invested in this work relationship here.
Oh, boy.
To just throw it all away. So I will just let me take care of it. Trust me. Just
And
trust
there
me.
you've heard it, people. The man with a million voices.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before you axe a struggling employee,
Call
ask
me.
a woman what she'd say and borrow that approach.
Oh, wow. Wow.
At least I am doing all the talking over here. What do you got?
Oh, you are very talkative today. Actually, I think that our guest is going to be here momentarily. And so I know we're going to be talking with her.
And what a beautiful young lady she is.
She absolutely is. Tatiana Sims is her name, and she is currently competing to be Miss Teen USA.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
You know, she is quite a young lady. Do you remember where we met her?
Tell me.
Well,
I want to see if you remember.
I do. A couple of years ago, we were shooting a commercial at Grounds for Sculpture. And she was one of the actresses in the commercial. And she was several years younger and just adorable. And we invited her to be in our commercial. And so she has been with us for a couple of years in our advertising campaign as one of the models in our commercials. And when she's with us, she's going to tell you about all the other things that
she's doing.
she's doing. And,
yeah, she's an amazing young lady.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got chemistry? Is your salon consistent, happy, edgy, magical, impeccable, satisfying, trendy? Are you ready for anything? Say hello to beautiful.
Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back, and we have our lovely guest that we've been talking about all morning.
yes, Tatiana Sims.
Yes. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good
I'm very
morning,
well.
Tatiana.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Fabulous. It's so nice to have you on the show today.
We are fabulous.
Thank you so much for
always.
having me.
We are thrilled to have you. and we have a few questions for you.
All right.
Okay. First of all, we'd like to know, how did you become involved with Miss Teen USA?
Well, I received an invitation through the mail to apply for this year's Miss New Jersey Teen USA pageant.
Now, how did you get the invitation?
Yeah, I was just about to say, did
Yeah.
they send the invitation to all girls?
I never got an invitation.
And he's so pretty.
Well, they send it to girls who they're aware of. So,
So how would they become aware of a girl?
well,
How did they become aware of you is what we want to know.
Okay, yeah, that is absolutely the truth.
a few years ago, I applied to the program after finding out about it on Facebook. And unfortunately, I did not proceed with the program because due to my father's military obligations. But they still kept me in mind, and they sent me another invitation, and I decided to do it this year, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh, well, good for you.
How sweet is that?
You know, I have to just say, for a young girl, you're very well spoken and outgoing. Were you always like this?
I was not. Unfortunately, when I was younger, I was bullied, and that took a huge toll on my self-esteem. So it took me like this one day when I looked into the mirror and I saw myself for the first time, and I saw, I'm not this person that people want to label me to be. So after I discovered, I guess, who I was, then I overcame the difficulty of being dyslexic, because a lot of times I was bullied because I was dyslexic. And then I challenged myself in advanced courses in my high school, and it just basically ignored when people said I couldn't, because that word was no longer in my vocabulary.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah, I can't imagine you being bullied. I look at you as just a very lovely young lady. I can't imagine anybody bullying you.
Well,
Yeah.
she's lovely, but the people who bullied her aren't so lovely. You know how bullies go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I encountered bullies in school also. I just punched them in the nose. And they didn't bully me anymore, but I don't think you can do that today.
No.
No. No, definitely
Don't
not.
take his advice, Tatiana.
Yeah, that's the Italian way we handle things.
Mr. Soprano.
Yeah.
Hey, I only got two hands. I could crack you with either one of them.
Godfather. Godfather.
Oh boy. Okay, well, back to you,
Getting
Tatiana.
back to Tatiana. Yes. What are you doing getting off the subject like that?
Yeah, right. It's always me. So, what charities have your heart?
Well, the two charities that have my heart are the Wounded Warrior Project and the American Diabetes Association. The reason why these two charities are very close to my heart is because my father, he was a wounded warrior after serving in Afghanistan, and my grandfather, Sandman Sims, he suffered from diabetes as well.
Both those charities are very, very important to me and to you as well.
Yeah, we love the Wounded Warrior Project.
Yeah, and diabetes is definitely, it's one of my charities. My mother is diabetic and my grandfather was diabetic. And that's a key one for me.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge epidemic, and it really needs to be
It
addressed.
really absolutely is. And the thing is, with diabetes, there are so many ways of controlling it.
There is.
I mean, juvenile diabetes is a whole different ballgame.
It is.
But actually, diabetes really can be controlled.
Yes, it can.
And through diet. And
Through diet, exercise, all those great things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. Well, that's amazing. Good for you.
So, Tatiana, we've known each other for a couple of years, and
We have.
we've done some things. Tell us a little bit about what you've done, let's say, over the last 5 years, because I know you've done quite a few things. We want to hear about them. And then we want to hear what your plans are in the next 5 years.
Okay.
So tell us about your past first.
Well, my past, after, we had our meeting, I really got more and more involved in different organizations. Like, I was selected as Her Campus High School Ambassador, and Her Campus is just amazing. It's an online global community for high school and college women. I became a Dormifly style advisor. So through their website, I blog about different different decor things for the college-minded girl. And I'm also a member of the Nordstrom Fashion Board, where we discuss different things that are going on, like the trends that people from 17 years old to 21 are really interested in.
That's awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
Thank
That's
you so
awesome.
much. And I'm also a member of the National Society of High School Scholars, which was an amazing nomination to get. And yeah, that's about it.
Didn't you have your own TV show or maybe a web show?
I did. It was kind of short lived. It was called Teen Style. It was an amazing TV show to be a part of. It was on the public access show Channel 30 right here in Princeton, and it was just amazing to do. A little sad that we ventured off from it, but it was definitely an amazing process to go through, and it taught me so much about interviewing, and just it was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good for you. So again, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see myself finishing my documentary, which is called The Quest: Equalizing Achievement, through my production company, Challenge Entertainment. And from there, I also hope to do well in the Miss New Jersey Teen USA pageant. And I hope to raise funds for my newly founded nonprofit organization called Challenge the Gap, which is challenging young students to achieve academic success no matter what their home life or situations are.
It's interesting. I was actually going to ask you about your nonprofit organization. Just tell us a little bit more about it. Go into a little bit more detail if you can.
Well, it's called Challenge the Gap, and it's really addressing the issues around the achievement gap. So through my research from being a part of MSTAN, which is the Minority Student Achievement Network, I learned that so many kids, unfortunately, are not receiving the necessary resources in order for them to achieve academically. So I found this to be a huge, huge academic, so I decided to address it. So through my organization, I'm going to be raising funds in order for kids to receive these necessary resources, such as computers and other web-enabled devices and internet access at their homes.
That is unbelievable.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that is unbelievable.
You're 16 or 17?
I'm 17 years old.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I was just going to say, this is a 17-year-old mind actually focusing on such a challenge that so many people are not addressing. It's amazing to me. So many people that actually have the resources right under their thumbs. But we have a 17-year-old who's actually making progress. Amazing, Tatiana.
Thank you so much.
That is incredible.
And you said something about a production company? Now, what is that? Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, after I was, making my documentary, which is addressing the achievement gap and possible solutions about it, I decided to make a production company called Challenge Entertainment. It's in honor of my late grandfather, Sandman Sims, who was a famous tap dancer. And he used to always tell the younger generation to always challenge themselves. So I decided to incorporate that in my company, and I want to send a message to the younger generation that you can challenge yourself to be the best you can be, and you deserve to dream big no matter what.
Oh, wow. I am getting tears. Yeah, she's making me feel awful clamped here. On that note, we do have another question. What advice would you have for other young men and women in your age group?
I would say, excuse the pun, but challenge themselves to be the best you can be and dream big, and don't ever stop dreaming. Don't ever stop. No matter what anybody has to say to you that's negative comments or anything like that, just be who you are and love who you are.
When you stop dreaming, you die.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
That's the truth.
It is.
I'm thinking about your grandfather, Sandman Sims. Now, I know that name. Was he in movies and things like that? Did I see him in movies?
He was. He was in a few movies. He was in Tap, which was with Sammy Davis Jr. and Gregory Hines.
Yeah.
It was an amazing movie if you've ever seen it. He was also in an episode of The Cosby Show. It was entitled Mr. Sandman, and he was teaching Rudy how to tap dance for her school performance. So.
Oh, awesome. Well, he certainly made an impression on you and many others.
Yeah, he did.
So
He
that's
really
wonderful
did.
that you can follow through with all of this, especially in his honor.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to do something to carry on his legacy, because when he was, when he was still alive, he always made sure that kids in his community, because he grew up because he lived in Harlem, and he always wanted to make sure that kids had resources or had like an outlet so they can be achievers. So he used to, out of his own funds, he used to teach young children how to tap dance, to keep them off the streets and to get them involved in an activity that they could care about, that they can dream and do more, for themselves.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm impressed here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she is quite impressive.
Oh,
Yes,
well, thank
yes,
you
yes.
very much.
Yes, you are quite impressive.
Now, Tatiana, you are a published poet.
I
Of
am.
course she is.
What made us think she wasn't?
Of course.
Tell us about that.
Well, I saw a competition where you could submit poetry to be published in a book called Stars of Our Hearts. And I decided to enter into the competition, and I was selected as one of the members to be chosen to have their poetry in the book. And my poetry is like right on the first page. I'm so excited.
What's the name of the poem?
It was actually a poem about Michael Jordan.
Okay.
It was, and I wrote about how, he started in the NBA, then he went over to play baseball, and just different things of how he's an inspiration to many young kids.
Okay, and what is the name of the book again?
Stars of Our Hearts.
Stars of Our Hearts, everyone.
how
You
sweet is
can
that?
just see Tatiana's published poem about Michael Jordan. That's perfect. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and from that moment in my life, I also was selected as my school champion to represent my school at the Poetry Out Loud Regionals in New Jersey. I made it past the first round, and it was just an amazing opportunity to be a part of. The kids there were amazing and so nice, and we just really bonded over our love of poetry, which was amazing.
Oh, that is amazing. Good for you.
Thank you so much.
You are so well-rounded.
Oh, thank you.
That's really so important. It really is so important. See, Anthony, you don't know. You don't have kids.
I don't have children.
Yes, but when a child is this well-rounded, they just go so far. Tell us also, I mean, there's definitely more to you than just these few things.
This girl is
I know.
synergetic.
Yeah, she's got it going on.
Now, you were recently in a in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And I'm going to let you say it because I'm going to get it all twisted up. So what was it again?
The Miss New Jersey Teen USA pageant.
Okay, cool. There's and what have you done, or what did you do to prepare for this pageant, as far as your dresses, your makeup, your the poise, that kind of thing? Tell us what
The book on your head.
Well, none of that. Well, actually, the first thing that I had to get down was learning the dance, because we have to do a group dance in the beginning of the show as the opening number. So
Really?
I had to learn the dance. It's a really cute dance. It's all girly and energetic, and we dance to a J-Lo song, which is amazing.
Of course, anything
Of
J-Lo
course,
does
yeah.
is
Anything
amazing.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
And from there, the dresses, I had to get a formal evening gown to the floor, and I had to also get an opening number dress in pink. I had to also get a swimsuit, a full piece swimsuit to wear, high heels, a must, and definitely makeup. I'm not really too used to wearing makeup, but it was definitely a nice process to go to and learn that, because, later on in life I'll be wearing makeup. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, you don't really need makeup.
I was just
Your
gonna
skin
say
is
that,
beautiful.
yeah.
You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you so much.
Great eyebrows.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Yes. Don't use too much.
Yeah. It's like, because I have sensitive skin, so I have to really make sure what to use on my skin. So, some makeup has harsh products in it, so it does break me out. So I always have to be careful about what I use on my skin.
But aside from that, you don't want to take away from your beautiful features either.
Oh, well, thank you so
You know?
much.
And it's the truth.
You have is it a website or
Yes,
Tell us-
I do have a website. It's my production company, so it's challenge-entertainment.com. If you want to learn more about myself, what I'm doing, my documentary, or just my production company, go on the website and you can see so much about it.
And people can contact you also and ask
They
questions.
can. You can follow me on Twitter, so it's at _Sims 2, and you can also follow me on Instagram, which is at Tatiana Sims.
That's perfect. And people can definitely find you.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking this girl out because she's got some serious stats going on.
Oh, thank you.
And you've got something on YouTube, don't you?
I do. I have my finished trailer. It's called The Quest Equalizing Achievement. It is on YouTube. Just look it up, and hopefully you'll be amazed by it. It's just hearing what the interviewee said was just awe-inspiring. Like, I had to fight back tears so many times when interviewing these people and hearing their stories and hearing how they overcome so much, especially so much negativity put on them to achieve. So it was just an amazing process to go to. Definitely so humbling.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this. We're going to watch this today.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I know we are. I know we are. That's wonderful.
Oh, thank you
Well,
so much.
you really are amazing. You have been such an amazing guest for us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I mean, this is my first interview ever.
Really.
Well, we're glad it was with us.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to.
And can you imagine, Anthony, when we have her back, what she'll be able to tell us then?
Oh, yeah.
If she's told us this much now. Can you imagine even a year from now what this girl's going to accomplish? Wow.
There are no boundaries.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
Not
not.
for Tatiana Sims.
No, not for anybody, as long as you believe.
This is true.
What you believe, you achieve.
Perfect.
It's the truth.
It is so the truth.
The law of attraction. We say it all the time.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us today,
Well,
Tatiana.
thank you so much for having me.
It was truly, truly our pleasure. You're absolutely fabulous.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You guys are just fabulous all day, every day.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And now for the fun facts on finance
From a feminine point of view, our very own Dina Cobran.
of DC Alexander Wealth Management.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad that you're back.
Me too.
Me too.
I have a problem that happened to me when I was probably about 20 years old. So it was about 10 years ago. And it was my very first investment that I made. It was my accountant's son was going into the investment business. And he said he had a great product that's up and coming, and it was a $900 investment. And they asked me if I would become a client. And I did. And I invested $900 and knew nothing about investing. This was my first experience with investing. And to make a long story short, my $900 turned into $100 in a couple of months before he said to me, I think it's time to sell off.
That's
Bad
very
investment.
common.
It is common.
Yes, that's very common, actually. I hear that so often. If I could tell you, if I had $1 for every time somebody told me about a story that they lost money by either giving it to a friend or mostly friends, but it could be a relative. And I'm not saying you shouldn't invest with your friends who are financial advisors and who have absolute 100% knowledge and are experienced. But I hear stories about people who trusted a friend blindly, and they weren't working with a friend that was actually giving them education. You know what I mean? Like, you blindly trusted this person, right?
Yes, I did.
And so they let you down because they didn't give you enough information to be able to make an informed decision. If you had been given information, then you could have answered the real questions that you needed for yourself. That's terrible. Anyway, so I've heard stories about people who have given hundreds and thousands of dollars. Okay. And I know I have dear friends who have done the same thing, where they thought it was going to be the next big thing. It was going to be better than the next sliced bread that you can get. Then after that, they get money and they inherit money, and they just feel like they can't trust any financial advisors, and they label every financial advisor the same because, well, that happened once, and so that's going to keep happening. But what we need to do is we need to take these people and educate them. And that's what I do with my clients is I actually spend the time and I try to make sure that they understand where the money is going to be going, how it's going to work, what the statements are going to look like, what the investments are going to look like, what they can expect. And I really always tell people, I want to lower your expectations so that you're not disappointed. If I make you more money over the long run, great, but then you're going to be expecting a lot less. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense, actually. And it just proves to show you that knowledge is power.
Very much so. And that's really why I started doing this radio show, to be honest with you guys, because I'm so passionate about educating people and having people learn. Not everything I know, of course, because they're not going to learn everything I've been doing in 30 years.
Well, that's your passion.
Right, exactly. But I just believe that education is so important, from a financial standpoint, and there's just not enough of it. And so when I come across clients that really need my help, it makes me feel really good that I can help them understand what they're investing in, not just from a perspective of what, they need to know.
And see, that's what makes you so real and trustworthy and honest. And that's what's so important about putting the knowledge back into the financial end so that people can understand that,
right,
and feel good.
Right. But I want to give them knowledge. You see, I want them to feel that they are comfortable asking the right questions. I feel like people don't know what to ask. And so I help them with that. I'm like, here's what you need to ask. Here's what you need to know. And, this is what you need to learn. And people are not told about fees. I met with a client the other day who was so fee conscious, and a lot of people are very fee conscious, as you probably know. And I'm independent, so fees are negotiable as much as you can negotiate them. When you invest with certain funds, they set them. The fees are set by the mutual funds. I can't control that, but I help them understand what they're paying for and how it works. And I don't think a lot of people are getting that information.
Wow. Well, why don't you give your email so they can get that information?
My email is dcoburn, K-O-B as in boy, R-I-N as in Nancy, at nextfinancial.com.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC. DC Alexander Wealth Management is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group Incorporated. 2346 Route 33, Suite 307, Robbinsville, New Jersey 08691. Phone number 609-945-7330.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got flat hair? Want to blow it up? Squeeze and tease. You're volumized. Now it's supersized. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from anthonyvincentsalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And now our very own gatekeeper of matrimonial law, Roseanne de Torres.
Check out DeTorres and DeGeorge, certified matrimonial law attorneys at dndfamilylaw.com.
You'll be glad you did.
Good morning, Roseanne. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Good morning. Good morning.
Roseanne, what if I'm in the military? Can I leave the state if the state sends me out?
If you're in the middle of getting a divorce.
In the middle of a divorce.
Yes. Yep. You surely can. Yeah. So your orders would control there. It's hard to sue people for divorce that are in the military. They get a lot of leeway. There's a lot of additional sort of hurdles you have to accomplish to bring somebody into a divorce proceeding or any kind of legal proceeding for that matter, because those people are not available to be served with process. And so they get a lot of extra time and an opportunity to participate that other litigants wouldn't. So you have to be careful with somebody in the military.
So that's a very interesting thing. So let's just say, the wife is home and the husband is in the military, and he writes home and he tells his wife that he's cheating on her, basically, and she wants a divorce, but she's going to have a lot of trouble getting one?
So, no, I mean, not a lot of trouble. It's just that there's extra steps that we have to take to give those military personnel proper notice of the proceedings and additional time for them to be heard, what we call to be heard, meaning to respond.
I see.
And certainly if they are deployed overseas, they get even more time.
Of course.
And certain actions in the court action cannot take place against the person that has been deployed on active duty until they're back.
Well, yeah, they're not there.
Right. So
Wow.
you can't, but sometimes the divorce is, if there's no real estate and children involved, there's no assets to distribute, you can get a divorce from somebody very quickly, whether they're in the military or not. So those things could tend to go through for even people in the military. It's where there's something else at stake that we have
Like
to
children.
give. Children, assets, support issues. That's when we run into delays. It basically just elongates the proceedings.
So let's say the woman is in the military, has the children. The man has a regular job, not military. The woman gets moved out, not necessarily overseas, but to a different state. Can she take the children with her?
So the rules would apply. The general rules would apply. So what does that mean? If he consents to her removing the children, yes, she can take the children. But if the children were domiciled in the state of New Jersey, resided here, then she's not able to permanently remove them from the state of New Jersey without a court order or the father's permission.
Wow.
So regardless of whether she's in the military.
And she could get a court order without the father's permission?
She could, but then the question is, how much parenting time does the father have? There's a whole host of factors that a court has to consider before allowing a parent to remove children from the state of New Jersey.
And how much time would she actually have anyway if she's actually in the military anyway?
Yeah, you have to wonder if she's in the military, who's watching the kids when she's on duty?
Right.
That becomes an issue. The more time that the other parent has with the children, the harder it is to get a court to agree to allow you to remove the children, because there's this idea that those children are significantly bonded with the other parent and that removing them out of state severs those bonds and is not in the children's best interest. So
Wow, yeah. So I can see where that would be quite a difficult thing.
it's not easy to get permission to remove, but it's not as hard as it used to be. It used to be harder. The laws have shifted a little there, but still there are some hurdles to overcome, and clearly those parents that have more significant time are in a better position to prevent the other parent from removing the child.
Wow, very interesting.
Is child support any different with someone who is in the military, where they may have to send a check, or would the military cut the check, take it out of their pay, and send it to the other?
It works the same way.
It does.
So the probation there would be a garnishment affecting the pay. So they could be collected, or it could be direct payments. Really, it's up to the people how they want to handle it. But the person receiving support is entitled to have a garnishment in place if that's what they want. And then the U.S. government would just deliver the money, as any employer would deliver the money to the state of New Jersey.
If anyone has any questions, where can they call you?
908-284-6005.
Perfect.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
Healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did.
If you're joining us just now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We are Trend Radio.
We are.
Nothing like dead airspace. I thought you were picking it up from here, young lady.
You usually pick it up.
Well,
You're usually picking
I
it up.
picked it up and I'm handing it to you.
Okay. Well, the Beauty Bitch wants to talk about the 10 best tips for your wedding day.
The very best thing you could do for your wedding day is call us.
Absolutely. We are the wedding experts. But here's what I'm going to say about that. First of all, of course, you can always call us, Anthony Vincent Salon, 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. But beyond that, you want to make sure that you've had your hair and makeup trial.
So important.
That is key. That is absolutely key. You want to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing on the day you say I do.
And that your stylist knows exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely. Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. That's why we encourage everyone.
It eliminates so much stress.
So much time wasted. Okay. A couple of days prior to getting married, make sure you exfoliate your skin because you want to make sure there are no rough patches and no funny things on your skin. You want to have a perfectly smooth, clean canvas.
Healthy glow.
Absolutely. We call it the healthy glow. And we're going to talk about a glow in a couple of minutes. But before that, you also want to make sure you moisturize and hydrate. It's very important that your body, your entire body, and your face especially, has hydration so that everything is smooth and pretty.
Yes. And ladies, do not wash your hair the day of your wedding. Do not wash it.
Absolutely
It makes
not.
the hair very shiny, silky, and slippery. So
Talk about a slip and fall. We certainly don't want to slip and fall the day of. We don't want our hair to slip and fall out of its style.
So you wash it the day before.
Correct. Also, eat very carefully. For the few days.
You should always be eating carefully.
You absolutely should be. But for those few days, extra careful. Because if you're not feeling well, you're not going to look well. That shows. When you feel good, you look good. And when you feel fabulous, you look fabulous. And that's how you want to look on the day of. So stay away from the fried, bloaty foods and the salt and anything that's even too spicy. Because you don't want to have any kind of reaction happening for you. Want to make your eyes pop?
Oh, those individual lashes.
Do you want
that
your
we
eyes
do.
to pop, Anthony?
They are, well, not necessarily me, but I love looking into a beautiful pair of eyes when they just bat those long lashes.
I agree.
And we put them there.
That's true. Manicure, manicure, manicure.
Oh,
Enough said.
Enough said.
If you're going to put a ring on it,
Manicure
you definitely
it.
want to manicure it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and stay out of the sun.
See, I have a problem with that.
Well, I understand that. You can be in the sun, be in the sun, be in the sun.
It is so
but
healthy.
A few days before, you want to make sure you stay out of the sun. You don't want to risk a burn. You don't want to risk dry peeling. You don't want any of that. Instead,
Well, you don't want a sunburn.
Of course not. But that's why I'm saying, but you don't want to risk any of it. Things happen. And then you're getting married and you already have your date set. You're not canceling anything. So opt instead for a spray tan if you need to have that kind of glow, or, there are so many different options without damaging your skin.
And most of all, sleep. Get the right amount of sleep. If you're going to have your bachelorette party or your bachelor party, don't do it the day before the wedding.
Oh, of course not, because you definitely don't want bags under your eyes. Bags are for carrying clothing, not eyes.
That's right.
Right? And smile.
Smile.
You're never fully dressed without one.
So does that mean if you're frowning, you're undressing?
Sometimes. That's pretty sad. And here's our bonus. Choose Anthony Vincent Salon for a more beautiful you.
Yes, you'll be glad you did.
Absolutely. And on that note,
you've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
and if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.